Welcome, 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 everybody. Welcome back to the Own It Masterclass. We are here with session one. We are live here in the Zoom room as well as on Facebook. So the Own It Masterclass is here to help you master your mind so you can create life and business by design. So over the next 5 days, we're going to be going through the 5 keys of manifesting and goal achievement and teaching you the NLP techniques that you can implement now and forever forward to help to support you to own it by design and be a conscious co-creator. And for some of you, this is your 5th masterclass with us. For some of you, it's your first time here in the room. Some of you are clients, some of you are past clients, and some of you are brand new. And so I'm going to do my best to teach this from all the levels so that everyone has a good understanding. And of course, we teach it in such a deeper sense and go deeper into it inside our courses and our programs and working one-on-one. And today we're going to go through the first key of manifesting, ideas and awareness. So let's first talk about what those 5 keys are. The first is you have to generate new ideas to have new thoughts. You also have to create an awareness around what you want to change. So what's that current state and what's that future state you desire? You also want to create an awareness around what are the thoughts and beliefs that are holding you back, as well as expand your awareness so that you have an understanding of how you became who you are today and how to get to where you're going, which we like to call the human transformation process and human conditioning and behavior. And so we're going to go through some NLP techniques today to help you really start to design your business and your life the way that you want it instead of the way that you've been conditioned to have it. And just a reminder that every single person here in the room has done the best with what they have, and you're doing amazing and you're exactly where you're meant to be. And those who desire more in life, because it is our natural inclination to want to grow, you want to be able to start to cast yourself forward and see yourself there. And yet sometimes we get stuck in a blame and shame of the others who conditioned us. So just a reminder that they did the best that they could with what they had. And we want to send them love and gratitude and thank them for giving us our best chance and getting us where we are. And after this masterclass, you'll have a new awareness of how you can change. And so the rest is up to you. And so I'd love to see in the chat, whether you're live on Facebook or here in the Zoom room, I'm ready to own it. So we do have a rule throughout the masterclass. So go ahead, drop that in the chat. Let's see it. I want to see some energy, enthusiasm. We're going to raise our vibes this week. So the rule of the week is we must own our mind to create life and business by design. And so thus, we are only going to be entertaining the thoughts, feelings, and actions that are going to move us closer to our goals and get us more of what we want. And we are going to cancel and replace all the negative thoughts, beliefs, and actions that are getting us more of the same and more of what we do not desire. 98% of our thoughts, feelings, and actions are habitually unconscious. So let me say that again. You create your day with 98% of your thoughts, feelings, and actions that are habitual, which means you do them over and over again, and unconsciously, which means you are not aware of them. And what this is doing is continuously getting you more of the same. So what we're going to do today is interject new ideas. The new ideas are going to trigger new thoughts. So step 2 in manifesting and goal achievement is owning your thoughts and having thoughts that are going to get you more of what you want instead of more of what you don't. Once you can start to manage your thoughts, you must get into planning. So ideas and thoughts are in the ether. And this is where for most people, they stay and your ideas and dreams go to die inside of you. Did you know that more than 50% of the population will hit 60 and spend the rest of their life in shoulda, woulda, coulda? That's not going to be you here today because I know you're here willing to own it by design. So we got to put a plan in place. We got to get it out of the head and we got to get it onto paper. So if you've got your workbook, of course, everyone who's registered has a workbook and they're going to be doing it along with us. This is your plan. This is the 3rd stage of manifesting. You got to get it out of the head, the ideas and thoughts, and put them on paper. Put a plan in place. Now, the goal may not change, yet the plan may change along the way. And your first plan is to get you out of the gate and get you started. Okay. And if we have blinders on and we're thinking this is the only way the plan can work, you might actually miss better opportunities that come your way because the universe is working with you as a conscious co-creator to help you get it even better, quicker, and easier. And so when we put a plan in place, we get into action and we're always open for other opportunities that can help improve that plan along the way. So the plan may change and the goal may not. Your fourth stage is action. So on day 4 this week, on Thursday, we have an open house mastermind session. This session is not recorded and it's not posted to Facebook. So the only way you get to participate is joining us live in the Zoom room. And the magic in working mastermind is when 2 or more people come together, a third energy is created and you have access to ideas and thoughts and resources that you would not regularly on your own. And so in our mastermind, we're going to work on action because the fourth stage of manifesting and goal achievement is action. So we thought about it. We had a new idea and then we thought about it. And most people will only entertain the thoughts of how it won't work and their dreams die inside of them. Some will be willing to put a plan in place and some get stuck in planning. They plan until the cows come home, they rework the plan, yet they never take action. And do you know anyone? Maybe it's you, maybe you know somebody who's been planning their dreams for a long time and it's going to stay a someday. Or for those who are here, we're going to get, yeah, I'm hearing that used to be me. Yeah, and that's okay, right? Because previously we had some limiting beliefs that said you can't for whatever reason. And so we didn't take action and we got stuck in the planning. In this masterclass, we're going to move into action. The only way we can do it is through action. They say the magic is in the work that you're avoiding, and that we can only figure out what works and what doesn't work through the doing. And so we get into action. And during this masterclass, I'm going to introduce you to the concept of inspired action. So not just any action. We'll talk about what is inspired action. And during the masterclass, each and every one of you are going to bring something to get support on. And we are going to support you back. So help you generate new ideas, resources, or what have you. And everyone will commit to taking an action with a date on it, an action, a quantum leap action that will help them breed the largest result in the least amount of time with the least amount of effort and make everything else unnecessary, obsolete, or complete. So not just any action, a quantum leap action. Because for many of us, we do a lot of things, we take a lot of actions and we don't know exactly what we want and we're trying all the things instead of leaning into what's working. And then we get busy, overwhelmed, and burnt out because we're taking all these actions, yet we're doing a lot of things kind of good. And what we want to do is that one thing that's going to make that biggest result and leave you with the biggest result with the least amount of time and the least amount of energy. And so you'll leave with a quantum leap action and a date that you commit to take it. And again, if you don't take it, that's okay. But just know then you're still stuck in planning. And if you take it, amazing. You never know what magic may come your way. And so in the modern mystery schools, these are the 4 keys of manifesting that we're taught: ideas, thought, plan, and action. So today we're going to do ideas and awareness. Tomorrow we're going to do thoughts and rewiring our brain for success. On Wednesday, we're going to put a plan in place. And the first plan we need to put in place is our self-image. You have an internal set point currently of what you believe is possible for you. So remember I said 98% of your thoughts, feelings, and actions are habitually unconscious. That's that internal set point. And until we change it, nothing changes. And we'll explain that later when we talk about the transformation process and the putrefaction process today. And so what we're going to do is build a new winning self-image because you must, what? You must embody it to become it. So go ahead, put that in the chat, and I want you to keep that on the forefront of your mind for this week. Embody it to become it. You must begin to think, believe, act, show up on a daily basis in all that you do as that person with their goal achieved. Or you can continue to show up as the same version of you today. Amazing. And it's only going to get you more of the same. So we're going to this week embody it to become it, and we're going to own our mind and only stay focused on the desires and thoughts and feelings and emotions that will move us closer to our goal, and we are going to cancel everything else. So what this is going to require for you Perfect timing, Ren, is to stay in a state of possibility. So as Ren says in the chat, I love it. She's amazing. She's working with us, so she knows exactly what I'm talking about. She says, I am entering the spirit of possibility and success. So there's two sides to the coin: success and possibility and winning, and positivity or negativity, fear, worry, and doubt. And so every day, all day long, you get the opportunity to choose which side of the coin you're on. And so when you think about your business, where are most of your thoughts? What side of the coin? When you think about your health, where are most of your thoughts? What side of the coin? Your relationships, your career, all the areas of your life. What side of the coin is the majority of your thoughts on? Because you just need to get to 51% on the possibility side to start to see things really shift. Life can be easier, it can be smoother, and it can be so much more fun if we allow it to, and we start to be conscious co-creators instead of working with resistance and conditioning and against the natural laws of the universe. So on day 5, we're going to go through belief. My favorite saying is, whatever the mind of the man can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Napoleon Hill. So let's break that down. You're going to conceive a new idea today, and then you have to believe it. And in order to embody it, you have to really start to believe it. So you win or lose in the mind first. Not only do you need to believe in the possibility, you actually have to believe in you, that you can do it, that you can show up, that you are worthy, that you are deserving of living life by design and building your dream business around your dream life. And what we are going to do on Friday, it's a bonus heart-led sales session. And we are not only teaching you the art of sales, we are going to sell you on your dream so that you can build your belief. So those 5 keys: ideas and awareness, thoughts and rewiring your brain for success, plan, and we're going to create a winning self-image. You're going to get into inspired action. And then the 5th is you're going to own your belief. And so that's what we're working on this week. And we are what? Only entertaining the thoughts that will get us more of what we desire, and not the thoughts that are going to get us more of what we don't. And next week, Tuesday the 15th, after our Canadian Thanksgiving, so all the Canadians that are celebrating Thanksgiving next weekend, what a perfect time, because we are in the state of possibility and gratitude through this workshop. So on Tuesday the 15th, we're going to have a bonus recap session with open Q&A with me, so you can bring your workbooks, get help and support, and ask questions. And we will do a high-level overview, and I highly encourage that everyone comes back for that, because every time you hear this information, it's going to expand your awareness, and you will most likely get something that you didn't get before. And the more we hear it, the more we auto-suggest the spaced repetition of an idea or thought over time. So the more you can auto-suggest these new ideas, concepts, beliefs to yourself, the more we can rewire that brain for success. So we've currently all been auto-suggested our entire life. How many times do you think you were said and told no as a child? I'd like this, no. So literally begin to be conditioned that you can't have what you want. And what we want to condition ourselves over the next week is to believe in possibility, and that you can, and believe in you. And they say it takes about 72 hours to truly shift your state. So that is why this is a 3-day masterclass. And then we have our bonus sessions. So from Monday to Wednesday this week at 1 p.m. Eastern, we are working on shifting our state and embodying it so that we can start to get new results and actually be conscious co-creators instead of living life by default, which means for most of us, we are just taking whatever comes our way instead of actually consciously creating a life by design. So let's dive into the workbook. Everyone's clear on what these 5 keys are that we're going to be working on this week. And today, it's really all about creating those new ideas and that new awareness. So now you have a new awareness that you can change. Transformation is possible. And perhaps you are willing and you want to. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. So thank you again for all joining us here. We do have prizes to give away this week. So we are giving away we're giving away bonus review calls, business review calls. And the only way you can access them is usually through these events. I do not do one-off coaching for business review, only though the business review one-on-one goes through our mastery mentorship. Otherwise, I only teach in group programs. So this is one of the only ways you get access to these types of calls. And so we'll be giving one away tomorrow, as well as Wednesday. And on Friday, we're going to give away a bundle. So tomorrow is a 30-minute call. Wednesday is a 45-minute call. And Friday, you're going to get a 45-minute business review call and a 30-minute follow-up call, to an accountability call, to help you make sure that you stay in inspired action. So these are my gifts to you guys for participating. So for registering, for showing up live, for inviting and referring to friends so that you can study with an accountability buddy and also help expand the awareness and human consciousness of this planet, and for sharing on your socials. So you're welcome to take any of our posts and share it into your story. Just simply tag us. And these, every time you do any of these activities, you'll go into the draw, and we will do a draw tomorrow for the first call. So that is my gift to you guys, and I'm super excited to see one of you guys on that call. So without further ado, let's dive in. So for those who were not in the Zoom room and when we kicked off, because we always hang out in the Zoom room for a little bit of time first, we were celebrating our wins and setting our energy. And what we want to now do is really start to set our energy through intention and gratitude. So in your workbook, I ask you, what are 3 things you wish to gain from this workshop? So I want you to really think about that. What would you like to be different? What would you like to gain a week from now after this masterclass? So you're going to jot that down. And then the next part is I ask you to write out 3 things you're grateful for and why. So in a NLP, yeah, you're welcome very much, Ren. So in NLP, neuro linguistics programming, the study of human conditioning and performance and excellence and how to reproduce it, basically how you became who you are today, how to change it and step into excellence and mastery. And we say you're either on your hero's journey, so in a state of possibility, or you're in your victim story, which doesn't sound fun or exciting at all. It's not. And that means we're in complaining, blame, fear, shame, worry, and doubt. And so we cannot be on our hero's journey and on the victim story at the same time. We cannot be in the state of possibility and fear, worry, and doubt and complaining at the same time. So we're going to switch our state of energy right now by writing out 3 things we're grateful for and why. Why do you put the why? Because the why is the emotion. The emotion is the language of your unconscious mind. So if you want to embody it, you need to feel the emotion of it. And so you're going to write out what you're grateful for and why. And so I'd love to see in the chat, what is one of the intentions that you have and wish to gain from this workshop? And what's something that you're grateful for? So take a moment and think about that and start to write that down. And as you're writing, I'm going to keep diving deeper into the workbook. So I'm on page 4. So what I really want everyone to do throughout this workshop is to truly align with their soul purpose and their mission. So you came here with a mission to do something, to create something, to leave an impact. And if we don't follow this, we're often left in dis-ease, because every single thought creates a physiological response in the body. The science of epigenetics, that is scientifically proven, and it took Dr. Bruce Lipton 20 years to prove it as a science. He was ostracized when he brought his findings forward, and now it's taught in university. So sometimes you just don't know what you don't know. So every single thought creates a physiological response in your body, turning on and off DNA expressions via protein synthesis, or you're either making yourself sick or healthier, or in a state of possibility or fear, worry, and doubt via your thinking. And so I want you to start to think in a state of possibility. And so you came here with a purpose, a mission, what we like to call in our community, your being. your big, hairy, audacious goal. This is what we call your North Star. This is what you're going to put as a filter. So you're going to decide what you want, and you're going to set that big, hairy, audacious goal. And every time something comes your way, you're going to ask yourself, is that going to move me closer towards my goal or further away? If the answer is closer, it's a yes. If the answer is farther away, it's a no. And what we need to start to do is making sure that our life is in alignment with our soul purpose. And that first means we need to know what it is and what we want and what we're here to do, so that we can start saying yes to the opportunities that allow that to happen, and no to the opportunities that are pulling us away from that and keeping us small. And so what I ask you first, because a lot of people, this is the hardest part. They can't make the decision. And guys, you make a decision and you start moving and you are successful. Success is the progressive realization of a worthy goal. It doesn't say achievement of it. It's the progressive realization of it. Because the magic is not actually achieving the goal. The magic is who you become in achieving the goal. Let me say that again. The magic is not the achievement of the goal. It's who you get to become in the achievement of the goal. I love how Jim Rohn said his mentor told him, go out and be a millionaire. Not to have $1 million, but for the person yet you will become in order to achieve it. And then you can give the $1 million away. And it's going to be about that person you become, which is what we're working on all week long. So the first question is, what do you love? What sets your soul on fire? Because we want to do more of that. And usually they say, if you're not sure what it is, ask yourself, what do you love? What do people say you're good at? Actually, maybe interview some people in your life and ask them. And that will help show you what your soul purpose and mission is. So what fills your soul and what do you love? And what is that legacy you want to leave? So what's that vision for your life? All successful people are pulled forward by their vision. And I want you to really pause and think about this, because in our positive psychology class in university, we actually had to do an exercise where we wrote out our own eulogy. And I'm pausing because I want you to think about that. It's your celebration of life. Who's there? What are they saying about you? What's that impact you've left? Have you left a legacy of possibility and positivity that's transforming the world and leaving your family, friends, and community better than how you found them? Or did you leave people worse off and no one's there at your celebration of life? You get to decide. And you get to decide right now and every single day in every action and every interaction that you have. They say that you leave your legacy with every interaction that you have. So what fills your soul and what do you love? And what's that legacy you want to leave? And I want you to really pause and think about that. Love it. So in the chat, we've got some intention. So we want to create new ideas and new connections and soak up some of Heather's high vibes. Oh, you're the best, Judy. Thank you. I'm so glad that you're here. It's one of the things when I ask people, I did this myself. I only teach what I do. So it was an NLP exercise in Landmark, and we were to interview people in our lives. And I asked so many people about what's my strength. And they're like, you're so inspiring. Inspiration, high vibes. I had a friend once say, like, a couple of friends be like, I don't know how you just do things. Things just work out for you. And it's because I do what I'm teaching. And so, yes, let's all soak up the high vibes, raise our frequency this week, get into a state of possibility and truly own it. And 3 things you're grateful for: teachers like Heather who generously give of herself to help others step into their empower. I love it. And Zoom for making it possible, even though we're in different countries. Yeah, Judy, I love that. And my awareness and ability to learn and soak up everything that I can. I love that. Our ability to learn. Isn't that something to be grateful for? Because imagine we were all still crawling and stopped learning. No, you didn't give up when you fell the first time when you crawled. And owning this goal is no different than that. And we're going to do this all together this week. So I'm here fully to support you. Each and every single one of you get a free vision casting call. So make sure that you book that. If you've been to the masterclass before and you've booked it, that's okay. Book it again. Let's expand on that vision. And then I will guide you through that guided visualization. So let's keep moving through that workbook so I can keep us on a timely manner, because everybody knows that I love to talk and we could be here forever. So that's why we got the workbook, to keep us moving. So first thing, setting your intentions. What do you want from the masterclass? Second thing, switching to a state of gratitude. So you're going to go ahead and write out 3 things that you're grateful for and why. The next is getting more clarity around what is your mission, your vision, and what do you want to leave for your legacy. If the exercise was to write out your eulogy, I want you to think about, what is it that you've left behind? What did you do? And let that start to be your North Star and your filter that helps you keep moving towards it instead of farther away. And next, we're going to do one of my favorite exercises. And so some of you may have done this before. Excellent. Go ahead and pull out your universal shopping list and begin to add to it. And for some of you, you have no idea what I'm talking about. So let's dive in. So we are going to start to generate new ideas. Napoleon Hill would spend 45 minutes a day generating new ideas. How do you turn any problem into a solution? You turn it into a question first. So how can I insert whatever the problem is? How can I increase my sales? How can I expand my business? How can I increase my brand awareness? How can I improve my relationships? How can I be a better mother? Whatever that goal is for you, you can always turn it into a question and generate ideas and be solution oriented and get into inspired action. So what we're going to do is create a universal shopping list. So anything you want to be, do, or have, you're going to go ahead and fill out on this workbook. So I ask you, what do you want? And as Bob Proctor would say, what do you really, really want? Not what you think you can have, not what you think you should be, do, or have, not what you've been told is possible. If I waved a magic wand and said you could be, do, and have whatever it is that you truly desire, I give you permission to dream. I want you to write it down. So many of us stopped dreaming a long time ago, and we've become complacent with where we are and the way things are. And that's great if that's where you want to stay. But the truth is, we're really either growing or we're dying. So we really want to be continuously moving forward. And what keeps us moving forward is our desires turned into goals. And then we marry them with a why. And we decide, commit, and succeed. And we divorce our excuses, our reasons, and our alibis. All successful people win or lose in the mind first, and they have solution-oriented mindsets, and they see every obstacle as a growth opportunity. And so you right now are going to dream. Write it down. You could be, do, and have whatever you want. Maybe it's a new car, maybe it's a new home, maybe it's a vacation, maybe it's a new client, maybe it's a new business, maybe it's new clothes, maybe it's some time off. Maybe you want to go visit some family members. Maybe you want to travel the world. I will give an example of how this magic works. In 2021, one of our previous clients, Jules, who's amazing, came to this masterclass, and she did exactly what you're doing today. And she decided to generate a new idea. And she wanted to have location freedom and financial freedom so that she could travel the world. And she said that she remembers creating the ideas, marrying the goal, and divorcing the excuses, reasons, and alibis, and then just getting into inspired action. And would you believe it or not, right now she's in Thailand, which was on her vision board, where she's working from her computer because she can work from anywhere in the world. And she has been traveling the world this entire year. And her life is unrecognizable. And it all started with an idea. Okay, so the magic is in the generating the new ideas. How our thinking goes is we have this usually the same thoughts that have the same feelings, that have us take the same actions and get the same results. Then we look at those same results, have the same thoughts, the same feelings, the same actions, and the same results. So if we don't do this work, we can take last year's results and put them on top of next year's results, and 98% of it will be the same. And so if we want to continuously grow and change, the magic is in doing this work. So how do we do it? Interject a new idea. A new idea has you have new thoughts, which have you have new feelings, that have you take new actions, that have you get new results, that have you think differently and then feel differently and act differently. Yeah, I met Jules. She's blooming. Yeah, she was one of our key guest speakers, as well as she's been a guest on our podcast multiple times. And she is thriving. She's such a beautiful soul. And that Jules that you know now is completely different than the Jules I met in 2021. And it all started in this free masterclass. And that is possible for you too. You just have to get into inspired action, be teachable, do the workshop the way it's meant to be done, and believe in yourself and possibility. So remember, just for today, we're going to be in a state of possibility and expect magic and miracles, because what if today was the day that changed the rest of your life for the better? May you believe in that kind of energy. And so I want you now to take one of the things from your universal shopping list that would make the biggest difference for you. What's that one thing that is going to change your life? If you did this one thing, it would make everything else easy, unnecessary, obsolete, or complete. So what's the one thing you want the most? That burning desire. And I know immediately the unconscious mind is going to kick in and say, how can you do that? Well, that's going to be hard. And all the excuses, reasons, and alibis are going to start to creep in. I want you to ignore them for right now and just focus on what you desire. Tomorrow, we will rewire the brain for success, and I will teach you how to switch your beliefs and switch your thinking to get you out of any negative situation and truly create your life by design. And for today, when the negative thinking kicks in, I just want you to go back to focus on what you prefer and get into a state of gratitude. Okay. So what is that one thing? I would love to see it in the chat. What's that one thing you want the most? And declare it, decide, commit, and succeed. So what's that one thing that's going to make the biggest difference for you, that's going to make everything else easy, unnecessary, obsolete, or complete? So we are on page 6 working on our dream state. And right now we don't have to worry about the how. When we generate our ideas and our dreams, we do not use our rational, logical, reasoning mind. We are asking our deep unconscious, our highest self, what it is that we truly desire. So if I waved a magic wand and gave you one thing right now, personally and professionally, so I want you to pick one thing personally and one thing for your business. So what's one thing personally and one thing professionally that you truly desire that would make the biggest difference for you in your life? And I want you to really think about this. What do you want? Because if you don't know what you want, first of all, you can't have it. Second of all, you're just going to take whatever comes your way. And third of all, it means you didn't decide, right? So we need you to not only know what you want, we need you to decide on it. Who here has read the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill? Yeah, awesome. This book will change your life. One of the key principles for success, if not the first, I believe, is decision. And so you have to decide that not only what you want, that you're worthy of it. So personally, new car, love it. So I used this masterclass in July of 2022 to manifest the current car that I had. And I was thinking, excuses, reasons, and alibis. How can you have that? You're so busy. What do you? So I went out, tried to buy a car, didn't work out well, went home, and I was like, that felt really forced. I know how to do it. I'm working against the universe. Let me work with it. I'm going to sit. I'm going to meditate. I'm going to visualize. I'm going to do everything that I teach you in this masterclass. Then somebody goes, I know a company that they will do the shopping for you. They will drive the car to your house. And if you like it, you can sign and buy it. And if not, they'll take it back and they'll go get you another one. And guess what? By the end of the masterclass, I had the car parked in my parking spot. And that's the magic. I also better than I could have imagined. I named it Bella. I always name my cars. And it's more beautiful than I could have even imagined, right? So what's the best that could happen? That's one of my favorite affirmations. So this or something better. I desire this or something better. And when we can start to be conscious co-creators, things can start to work out easier. All right. So professionally, 5 clients this week who pay in full. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So now, why do you want this? The why is the emotion of the unconscious mind. So why do you want this? What would it look like and feel like to have? So start to think. Visualize you in that new car, driving it, starting it, sitting in it, seeing it in your driveway. So the first is, what kind of car would you like? What color do you want it to be? And then how does it feel? Remember, the feeling is the secret, which is a great book. You might want to check that out. So how does it feel to have the new car? What's going to be different? For me, the feeling was freedom. The feeling was safety. So a new car that was safe and secure and also allowed me to go wherever I want, whenever I want it, and look stylish doing it. So what does that look like for you? So first we made our universal shopping list and we just did a brain dump. I want you to keep this somewhere where you can see it regularly and you continuously add to it. I love the saying, let go and let God. You thought about it, you put it on, and the universe will deliver it to you. As long as you're not in a state of seeking, AKA lack, going, where is it? Why isn't it here yet? I want it. That's not practicing the art of satisfaction. We actually want to practice a state of gratitude from where we are, embody it as if we already have it, and expect it instead of being in a state of lack and seeking it and wondering why we don't have it yet. Okay, we want to act as if and enter the spirit of it. So I want to ask you then, Judy, why do you want these 5 clients? Because the truth is, usually it's not necessarily the goal that we want, it's what the goal allows. So I know for me that signing new clients will not only increase our income, it will increase our impact. The ripple effect that I get to have, I serve conscious entrepreneurs so that we can leave a positive impact and a legacy of love and birth a new earth of unity consciousness with peace in heaven on earth for the highest good of all and not the 1% of the 1%. We put people and planet over profit. Now, I love profit. I love being wealthy and never at the expense of anybody else. Non-negotiable. And so for us, it's not just about the clients, it's the impact of the clients. One of the gentlemen who went through our program, he is now running men's retreats and events and empowering men to step in the healthy masculine and to truly tap into their gifts and own their unconscious instead of living by the negative toxic masculine conditioning or weak masculine conditioning that is happening in society today. So instead, that ripple effect. I've had a client who created forest schools where kids can get to be educated. Yeah, actually, I'm not even thinking of Thomas Wren. I was thinking of somebody else. Thomas is my psychic counselor, and he is incredible. And when I first met him, he was just beginning to launch his company and begin to step into that new version of him. And now not only is he running in-person events, online events, has a private practice, and so much more, he's helping people truly connect to their spiritual gifts and have access to their power. And that's the ripple effect that I get to have. So for me, it's not just about serving the clients, it's what it allows. So Judy, when you have these new 5 clients, what would it allow for you? What does the money allow for you? What does working with these clients allow? They will be more harmonious and more balanced, which means they will have healthier and happier relationships, and their home will be a place of peace and haven. So their children will grow up in a healthy environment so that the trauma and negative cycles don't continue through the family for generations to come. You could change an entire family's future by changing the parents. So what does it allow? Get really connected to not only what you want, what it allows for you, and then what does that feel like? So what's that impact? I love it. So Yvonne says personal to be able to sleep at least 7 hours. I love it. Absolutely. I know people who have struggled with sleep, and sometimes it's because they're super busy, or it's because they're burnt out, or whatever the reason is. And when we have, and actually personally, post-concussion insomnia was a huge issue, and I know the impact that has on our quality of life. So what does the sleep allow? To wake up, feel energized, feel excited for the day, show up as our best self. And what does that feel like? What does that version of you who's had 7 hours, ideally 8, of restful sleep, how does that version of you look and feel different? For the business, you want to get some new sales and some sales from Amazon. I love it. And so what would that look like? It would look like emails just popping in. New sale, new sale. Oh my God, we're now global. Oh my God, we're now in America. Oh, people are buying over and over again. And every time I open my email, it's just like sold, 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 order placed. So what does that look like? Why do you want it? And how does that feel? So if you did wake up to daily sales, how would that feel? And how would you feel different? So why do you want this? What would it look and feel like to have? What will having this allow you to do? And I want you to really take a moment and write that down. So again, we want the goal, and it's really what the goal allows that we want the most. And then the magical question: what has stopped us from having it? And this is what we're going to rewire and reframe tomorrow. So I want you to think, you just thought about all the things you truly desire. You picked the one thing personally and professionally. You started to create a future memory or a visualization of it achieved, of why you want it. So we get emotionally connected to it, what it looks like, what it feels like, what it allows for you. And then I want you to start to observe, as soon as you decide, those limiting beliefs and negative voices inside our head start to kick in. And so I want you to actually start to be a conscious observer. So imagine there's a river flowing through your mind, and in it are all your thoughts, and they are everywhere. They're never going to stop. And we get two options. We can either jump in the river and ride one of those thoughts and get involved with it, or we can stay on the banks and choose to be observers of our thoughts. And so you're going to observe the thoughts and only entertain and get involved with the thoughts that are on the state of the possibility and the hero's journey. And you're going to hear and observe the contrast, the negative thinking, and I want you to start to write it down. And usually there's one key limiting belief. I'm not good enough. It's going to be too hard. It's going to take too long. Whatever that negative voice is telling you, I want you to ask yourself what it's saying, and I want you to start to write it down. So what do you think has stopped you from not having that already right now? So we did some dreaming, and now I want you to declare it. So what do you want? What is that big, hairy, audacious goal? And I want you to write it at the top of page 7 in this format. I'm so happy and grateful now that I am, insert that goal. I am a world-class leader. I am an 8-figure CEO. I am the owner of a Fortune 500 company. I am an empire owner. What is that goal that you truly desire? And I want you to write it down. You are 40% more likely to achieve it quicker when you write it down every single day, and 25% more likely to achieve it when you write it down and review it every day, because we're auto-suggesting to our mind. And so let's start to just talk about what the mind is, which we'll get to in a second. First, I want you to answer this question. What decision do you need to make, and what do you need to believe in order to make this a reality? So maybe the decision looks like, I'm going to work on my business an hour a day. I'm going to carve out 3 to 5 hours a day to work on this, or I'm going to believe in myself, or I'm actually going to do this master class the way it's meant to be done and fill out the workbook to its completion so that I can work smarter, not harder. So what decision do you need to make? And maybe the decision looks like I'm burning the boats. There is no more plan B. This is it. This is the only way it's going to happen. And they say if you can make that decision, you are 90% more likely to achieve it. So what decision do you need to make? And what do you need to believe in order to make this a reality? Do you need to build the belief in yourself? Do you need to believe it can be quicker? It can be easier? What is it that you need to decide and need to believe to help you achieve? Okay, so now let's talk about our 3 key principles that we're going to learn today. And then we're going to do some goal setting. So we have a conscious and an unconscious mind. Your conscious mind is the goal setter. So we just set our goals. You just wrote down your BHAG, your big, hairy, audacious goal. So write that down. Your conscious mind is the goal setter. Your unconscious mind is the goal getter. Let me say that again. Your unconscious mind is the goal getter, and your conscious mind is the goal setter. So you consciously just set your goal. And if you don't change the unconscious mind, you cannot get the goal. Because we're going to talk about psycho-cybernetics now. So psycho-cybernetics is talking about our own internal operating system. The current version of you is here. This is what you believe is possible for you. And yet you want to go over here to get the goal. And yet, unless you change the unconscious mind, you will always self-sabotage to bring you back to that same set point. So psycho-cybernetics is talking about your self-image and your own internal set point that is in your operating system, that if you don't change, nothing changes. That brings us to the putrefaction process, which doesn't sound very fun and exciting, and it's also called the transformation process. So you set the goal, and then you decided you wanted to go over here, and as you go get the goal, you will enter what they call the putrefaction process, where you must break down the old thoughts, beliefs, actions, habits, environment, the people you hang out with, all of the things that currently got you to where you are need to get broken down, and a new version of you needs to be birthed so you can get over there. The current version of you is amazing, and it got you here. And it's not going to get you there. Let me say that again. You're all amazing. And the current version of you is fantastic, perfect, whole, and complete, and exactly where you're meant to be. And the current version of you will not get you there. So in your unconscious mind, not only do you have an internal set point, you have a mental filter. And all the information in the world that is coming in goes through that mental filter. You only consciously process about 124 bits of information per second, and you're bringing in over 11 million bits of information per second. So how does the rest of it get computed? It gets computed through your unconscious mind, where it gets deleted, distorted, and generalized based on the computer programming that you were given. And that programming came through the model of the world you grew up in. As a child, you came in as a blank slate, almost blank slate. And then the conditioning of the environment helped you be exactly who you are today. That's why my grandmother speaks German and English, and I do not, because we grew up in different environments. That's why she has an accent and I do not. That's why she lives in a super state of gratitude, because she lived through the war and was a refugee from Yugoslavia to Austria and knows what scarcity feels like, and lives in an absolute state of possibility and gratitude, and conditioned me to live the same. And so your model of the world you grew up in helped you get to be who you are today. And it also creates a computer programming and operating system in your mind that is filtering all the information coming in. And that's going to get you more of what your conditioning believes is possible for you. And that's why tomorrow you're going to come back so we can rewrite that conditioning and start to rewire the brain for success. Because 98% of your thoughts, feelings, and actions are habitually unconscious based off that programming. And if you do not change it, nothing changes. And then you have your psycho-cybernetics, so your self-image, what you believe is possible for you. If we do not change this, nothing changes. So on Wednesday, we're going to begin to write out that new version of you that's embodying the goal achieved and really start to enter the spirit of the goal achieved and become that person. And now that you've all decided on your goal that you want, that one thing that's going to make the biggest difference for you that you want right now, that you picked from your dream list and your universal shopping list, and you also decided what your big, hairy, audacious goal is, so your life purpose. And now that you've decided, guess what? Welcome to the putrefaction process. If you do not do the work, you will begin to unconsciously self-sabotage yourself and send yourself back to where you were before, which is that psycho-cybernetics. You want to go there, but if you don't follow through on the putrefaction process, you will go back to where you were. And this is how most people live. They're here, they decide they want to go here, they're on their way to it and enter their upper limit and in their unconscious mind, and they go back to where they were before, maybe a little bit higher. Then they go to get it again. And most of their life looks like barely surviving to almost thriving, to barely surviving to almost thriving. And this can go through all areas of our life. And so instead of it looking like this, we want it to look like this. Yes, of course, you're going to, as you go get the goal, you actually have to break down. So there's a breakdown process before a breakthrough process. And we want to constantly have that going up and up and higher and better and better. Instead of almost better, back to the same. Almost better, back to the same. And for many of you, maybe that sounds familiar. For me, I know it was before I introduced this information into my life and truly began to embody it. I used to work 7 days a week. I had 3 businesses, 3 contracts. I volunteered. I was recovering from multiple concussions, a disc injury. I had no more time to trade for money. And I had to start turning clients away. And then I had to start giving clients away because I was injured. And that was all because I hadn't done this internal work. So when I went to go get the goal, that psycho-cybernetics said, no, sorry, too bad. You're going back to where you were. And I literally was just working so hard and not working smarter. And so what this masterclass is about is to help you work smarter and not harder so that you can own it by design in life and business. And that's all going to start by owning the mind. So who's ready to create some more excitement in their life? Who's ready to begin to embody what they truly desire and what they love? Brenda says this is true. We lived together and when I was living that way. Absolutely. That was one of the craziest, hardest years. And at the end of that year, I started studying with Bob Proctor. Now, my mom had been teaching this to me, a lot of it, for a long time. And I didn't have a system to follow. Now, of course, I'm NLP, timeline therapy, and hypnotherapy trained myself and teach it as well. And the moment I entered this information and started working smarter, not harder, my life was unrecognizable. I launched an online coaching practice. I closed my in-person practice. I co-authored in 2 books. I've now been teaching conscious entrepreneurs online for 5 years, 3 to 5 days a week, 3 to 8 hours a day, when I want, how I want, with whom I want, where I want. Thanks, Brenda. She has seen the before and after. This is possible for each and every one of you if you do the work. The magic is in doing the work. So let's start to create that life by design and be conscious co-creators and work smarter and not harder instead of forcing it until we self-sabotage and then come back to the same. And then we force it and we work really hard and then we get back to the same. Instead, we're going to begin to work smarter, not harder, which means it all starts in the mind first. So let's take a quick recap from today. First, you set your intentions, 3 things you wish to gain from this workshop. Write it down or think of it mentally. Then I asked you to think of 3 things you're grateful for and why, so that you can start to switch your state and increase your frequency. I'm so glad it's been inspiring. That's what today is all about, to get you back into a state of possibility, raise your frequency, raise your vibes, and help you believe in yourself and what's possible. And so on page 4, we ask you to start to align with your soul purpose so you can release dis-ease and start to live in peace, prosperity, and abundance. And so first you have to know, what do you want? What's that legacy you want to leave? Then I asked you to truly start to create a universal shopping list, one of my favorite things to do. If I waved a magic wand and said you could be, do, and have whatever it is you truly desire, what would that be? Then you took one of those things personally and professionally and you decided on it. And we started to create what we call a future memory. So why do you want it? What it looks like, what it feels like, what do you sense, what do you hear, what do you smell, what do you touch? What does this allow for you? And we really started to create that future memory because the mind thinks in pictures and it comes to pass. Environment is but our looking glass, AKA what is in your environment tells you what pictures you've been holding in your mind. Then we asked you, what has had you stopped? Why don't you have this yet? To start to be a conscious observer of your thoughts and your beliefs and your conditioning and your programming, to hear what's truly standing in your way. And you're going to bring that tomorrow because we're going to rewire the brain for success. Now we ask you to write down, what is that big, hairy, audacious goal? And start to enter the spirit of it, which looks like, what decision needs to be made? And what do you need to believe to actually believe in this big, hairy, audacious goal and make it your reality? We taught you a little bit about what is the unconscious and the conscious mind. So now you know you have both. And the unconscious mind is running the show. And we're going to snap back into the now and become conscious. A lot of people spend their entire life unconscious. And let that not be you. So instead, we're going to start to observe our thoughts, observe the unconscious, and consciously co-create. We're going to understand and start to observe, what is our psycho-cybernetics? What is that version of us that we have in our mind? And who is that new version of us we want to start to embody? And we'll work on that on Wednesday. I introduced you to the purification process or the transformation process, where your current state, and then there's your future state, the goal that you want. And when you go get the goal, you must first transform and begin to embody the version of you who actually has the capacity to not only achieve the goal, to sustain it and maintain it. And in order to have the capacity to achieve and sustain your goals, you must change. And we're going to work on that transformation together this week. Last but not least, I want you, so we said what was the one thing you wanted personally and the one thing you wanted professionally. And I want you to write those down and put a third goal there. So setting your intentions. What are the 3 key things, the biggest things, that if you were to achieve them, would make everything else easy, unnecessary, obsolete, or complete? That will help you get the largest result in the least amount of time with the least amount of effort. What are the 3 things that you want the most? And I want you to write them down. Remember, by writing them and reading them daily, you're much more likely to achieve them quicker and easier. And so perhaps you are going to add a relationship goal in there, or it's another business goal, whatever it is. I want you to pick those top 3. And I want to remind you, what you do this quarter, personally and professionally, the results truly will show up next quarter. So what you do over these next 90 days is either going to set you up for success or hinder you to kick off next year. So don't we want to own the rest of this year and potentially, and most likely, do even better in this final quarter than we have this entire year, and ensure that we kick off 2025 with momentum and success instead of back to where we were or worse? And the magic is in the doing. So fill out the workbook, book your vision casting call, come back live every single day with us. If you can't join us live every single day, the replays are up for the entire month. As long as you're registered, you'll get access to the replay page, the vision casting call, the workbook, and everything that you need to be successful throughout this masterclass. So I want to say thank you so very much for each and every one of you for your time and energy today. Time is one thing you do not get back. And I want to remind everyone those who are in the Zoom room already know, and those who are just catching the replay or on Facebook, this will be our last time teaching the Own It Masterclass this way. We will be bringing back Business Bliss Masterclass. And so this is the last time we're going to do the Own It Masterclass. So you're going to want to do it with us. You're going to do it full out, and you're going to want to use this knowledge that I have spent almost 2 decades and over $200,000 to acquire this special knowledge that I'm giving to you for free this week. So it's totally up to you how you want to use it. You can use it and take it, and this could be the week that changes the rest of your life if you allow it to. Or you can continue to get more of the same. The information has been given to you, and now the rest is up to you. I believe in you. Do you? And so let's talk about what the homework is for today. We are going to observe our thoughts. Are they positive or are they negative? Or are they on the hero's journey or the victim's story? So do they make you feel good or do they not make you feel good? Once you're observing them, you're going to start to note those negative thoughts. And the first step is awareness. So what is that current conditioning saying to you? So we're observing our thoughts. Now remember, you can always reach for a better feeling thought, and that looks like something to be grateful for. And so anytime a negative thought comes in, you're going to squash it. You're going to cancel it, and you're going to go back to an attitude of gratitude. You're going to observe what you currently expect and expect magic and miracles, because what you expect is what you get. And so observe what you've currently been getting and know that's what you've been unconsciously expecting. And so may you expect the best and ask yourself, what's the best that can happen? Obviously homework, complete the workbook. And then we would love for you to go live in our Own It community and share who you are and what that goal is that you're working on. So what's the thing that you want the most? Go ahead and declare it. There is magic in declaring what you decided on. And so we have our Own It community, which is our free Facebook group. And of course, for going live and doing your homework, your name goes into the draw again. And we have special guests coming back to share about their transformation and how this information has changed their life later this week, as well as a special opportunity for you guys, as well as special things that go along with that opportunity that we only do during these masterclasses. So thank you guys so much for your time and your energy. I want to thank you because your time is the one thing you don't get back, and you chose to bet on you, spend it on you, and spend it here with us inside the Own It community in the Own It Masterclass. So may you expect magic and miracles. May you go forth with an attitude of gratitude and expectancy, and may you truly own your mind so you can create life and business by design. I love you, I believe in you, and may you own it. And remember, what's the best that can happen? We'll see you guys back tomorrow, same time, same bad channel. Stay happy, healthy, and wealthy. Thank you.